Joined here today by head men's basketball coach Don Silveri. The Wildcats are about a third of the way through their 2012-2013 season. Coach, your team is off to an 8-3 start. You've picked up some good road wins, true road win against Taylor, and then some neutral site wins against Virginia Union and Queens, who's a member of the East Coast Conference that you'll be joining next year. Could you just talk about the team's start to the season? What have you liked? What have you disliked about your team's performance thus far?
Well, I think we're kind of underachieving a little bit. I thought at this point in time we might be a little bit better than 8-3. But on the positive side, you learn as you go along, and hopefully that'll be the case with us. The two losses that we suffered on the road against Malloy, which was a game we kind of gave away, and Iowa Wesleyan were very good teaching tools, so to speak. Gannon, on the other hand, I'm still licking my wounds from that game. We just didn't play anywhere near our potential. But that can also be used as a learning tool also. So for the most part at 8-3, I think it could be a little bit better, but I'm not discouraged by any stretch of the imagination.
Balance offensively really seems to have been a key for you guys so far. You've got 4 players averaging double figures, 2 more players at 9 points a game. How's the team been able to maintain that balanced scoring night in and night out?
Well, since I've been coaching, my best teams have always been teams that had 5 or 6 guys averaging in double figures. I just think that's the system we use. It's a balanced system. We don't, we'll take advantage of guys that are hot in particular games, but in terms of consistency and go-to guys, it depends on the situation and the time, and so that kind of spells balance in terms of scoring.
One guy that's really taken a step forward for you this season has been Gerald Beverly. He came off the bench most of last year as a freshman. Right now he's your leading scorer, 15.9 points a game. He's your leading rebounder, 8.6 rebounds a game. Can you just talk about the development that he's made since arriving on campus last year?
Well, the term that's most specifically used is he's blossomed. I mean, Gerald didn't start his junior year in high school, and he was about 6'3". His senior year, he grew to 6'6", and started and did pretty well, but was kind of under the radar. And now he's 6'7". He's put on about 20 pounds of muscle, and he's just blossomed into a very good basketball player. He's still learning. I mean, he's a sophomore, but he's still learning how to play the game. He needs to get a little bit more fundamentally sound, but I think if he keeps progressing at this rate, he'll be an All-American by his senior year.
Speaking of blossoming, another player that's really blossomed under your tutelage is Kadeem Johnson. He's 6'3" junior forward. Right now averaging 11.5 points, 7.4 rebounds per game. Perhaps most impressively, he's shooting 65% from the field. What have you seen out of him that's allowed him to take on a bigger role this season?
Well, first of all, Kadeem, the thing that impresses me the most about Kadeem is his leadership. I mean, he's blossomed into basically the vocal leader of our team. And he's taken that role upon himself, and he's done really well with it. And I think that's helped his game. It's do as I say, basically. And, he's a coach's dream, does everything he asks him to do. He works hard at both ends of the floor. He's a garbage man around the basket, gets 3-4 offensive rebound baskets a game, guards the other team's best defender. Just a pleasure to coach.
Lastly, Coach, like you touched on earlier, you're coming off kind of a disappointing outing against Gannon this past weekend. You guys were defending your championship from Gannon's Gary Miller Classic. Now moving forward, you've got Maine Fort Kent coming in here on Saturday. Will be your first home game in almost a month. Sheridan College from Canada coming in here on Monday. Then you're back on the road down to Salem International for 2 games in their tournament. Can you just talk about the challenges of your upcoming schedule as we move toward the holiday season?
Well, it's nice to get home. Those two games at home, I mean, hopefully we'll do pretty well. Maine Fort Kent is a little bit down this year. I don't know too much about Sheridan. I haven't seen them. You know, we need to get back on track, use those two games to accentuate the positives and try to put into play the mistakes that we made down at Gannon. And hopefully that'll get us ready for Salem. The Salem tournament, those are two pretty good NCAA Division II teams will be playing down there in Salem and Newberry. Hopefully we can get back on track. You know, being an independent, our road schedule has been murder, and we're not ducking anybody. We're playing very good teams, and hopefully by the end of the year, you know, that'll make us stronger.
Well, I want to thank you for joining me today, Coach. And again, the Wildcats are back in action at home at Lumsden Gymnasium this Saturday, December 1st at 4 o'clock against Maine Fort Kent.